we see a lot of North American teams actually enjoy playing Overpass, so it's one that I think they actually need to have under their belt within their region at least. Like, it's not something that they can really avoid. Like, we saw United actually play a fairly decent game recently as well, so yeah. It doesn't say 9, Jason.
Yeah, I would think it'd be a little bit higher than that, to be honest. I would think it'd be around 9 or around 22. One of the two numbers, but we're going to see now Singularity on the T side charge straight in towards the B side, where Liquid will be waiting. You see Twist and Stewie both able to pick up kills, and Unleash coming in from the connectors, able to get 1 as well. It'll be down to a 3-on-2. Singularity have been able to take the site, yes. But will they be able to defend it and potentially get the bomb down? And with that kill coming through, they might be able to. Nap trying to peek in from heaven. Has some damage, allowed Elige to actually get some ground, and what a shot out of Elige right there, taking the head right off of Seb. If Dapper can get the kill onto Elige or to Naf, it could open up towards the A site. He does have the bomb. He does have time, Tom.
Oh, that's a nice shot to hit as well. He's given himself a great opportunity. Spotted Nap above and eventually gets the kill as well. Great start for Singularity. A 3K coming out of Dapper as well. What a start to this match from them.
I think if we wanted to see a world where Singularity could take this map, that would be the way to do it. Get off strong on the T side pistol round, get the kills, and get Dapper going. The thing is, we saw Wrath was like the one who really stepped up in their match yesterday against Renegade. Seb was having a tough time in their first map, but then he started to really pick up some steam, pick up some pace. But my question is, how is Relics going to be able to do it as we get into this map? How is he going to be able to handle it against the pressure that Liquid can apply? Obviously, with TSM in the past and his experience.
But against his old teammate from TSM as well. Like, one of them definitely got the better end of the deal, with Twists ending up in Liquid, of course, and winning a lot of tournaments. But they sort of started it all in TSM and even for a brief period in Misfits together as well. So yeah, maybe a little bit of personal rivalry there, but I think, of course, Relics knows that going into this, they are the heavy underdogs, and well, already we might start to witness the problems that ATK had just yesterday. They really struggled versus even just pistols on Liquid's side. They did manage to get the first few rounds of the match. I think it ended up as like a 4-4 scoreline at one point, and then from then onwards, I think we saw them win 1 round.
Yep.
So
that was the only round they won for the rest of the match.
It is a pretty tough match, of course. So Liquid really do seem to get in the zone. And while this would definitely be, like, for them, at least maybe a bit of a confidence booster when it comes to this map. Of course, it hasn't been going too great recently, but again, that's against, like, much more experienced opposition, teams that would have directly looked to actually counter against them as well. I'm sure Singularity haven't even really had the time. Like, they will have, of course, seen plenty of Liquid demos, but wow, this is going to be tough. And actually, the bomb is only just coming around. Look at the time. There's only 15 seconds. He drops it. Elige literally just targeted the bomb there. He wanted to buy some extra time for his teammates, and with 10 seconds left, the bomb will make its way forward. He didn't quite manage to deny it. It's going to be pretty close, but they will have it down. Well, a lot of damage being done, but it's still going to be left on to Twist. But he's managed to retrieve an AK-47. He's given them a chance here. No kit available, so he is going to have to move fairly quick. And I like the rotation coming out from Dazzle, just trying to reset this up. Spots out the shot, but doesn't hit. And that could be enough to lose in the round. 2 players split completely in different directions. Not a real chance for either player to go down, but he gets him through the wall. And now just looks to tap the bomb. The problem is, I think the time's gone past. He won't be able to win it, but he may be able to kill Dazzle. In fact, not even that. Liquid will not be able to steal away this second round, but boy, was it close.
He still did a lot of damage nonetheless, getting 4 kills. And one thing we have to really focus on, and this is something we talked about with the ATK matches, I mean, obviously Singularity come into this game, need to be realistic about their expectations of what they can do against Liquid, but it's a good training ground to get them prepared for the probably most important match, or one of the most important matches of their careers. If they can take the victory against ATK, they can stay within the Pro League and make it into the second group stage and avoid relegation. But this is a good start for them. We hear, obviously, the woos coming in. They're starting to all hit some shots. But the thing is, I don't think Liquid's going to be a team that's going to get flustered by losing the first 2 rounds here. So to really get them on tilt, it's going to be a tough ask for Singularity.
I don't think there's really any point where Liquid will think they're out of this match. Like, even if things go horrifically wrong. And I think that's just so unlikely. Even in this round, a couple of kills here would be enough. Like, it would do enough damage that the T's will be on in the next round against a buy coming out from Liquid. And if they win that, then their money will be gone. So they need to be keeping 4 players alive, or at least attempting to. And with already Seb dinked up. Nice shot from Dazzle at least. Needs to get this kill on to Naf, otherwise that happens. And there's still the deke from Twist. At any moment, this man can just turn it on, hit those crazy shots. The bomb's actually going to double back in the other direction. I don't mind that. Relics. It's going to clear out Naf. But even if he goes down, this is a relatively successful round, and well, he won't. 3 players alive, at least some money earned for Singularity, but there's still going to be that situation where 4 players lost and then 2 players lost, and now if Liquid win the round, their money's in trouble.
I thought you were going to say their money's going to be lost. I thought you were going to keep it going. But yeah, still damage being done for Liquid, and I mean, Singularity still can't really ask for a better start than that. I mean, what, keeping every player alive in every round would be the best option, but you're up against one of the best teams in the world. And let's see now, going into Team Liquid on the bye. And as we were saying before, you don't think there's ever a point in this match Liquid thinks that they're going to be out of contention for win. Oh, Twitch just took a lot of damage from that Molotov. But even yesterday, when we saw Liquid up against ATK, there was like a 2-on-5 situation on Dust 2 that they're able to win. Even down, 2 men in a 3-on-5, they still would come out with the victories. And with pistols a lot of the time too.
Well, that's the interesting thing about both Liquid and Renegades, is that there's been a lot of rounds that you could sort of go, you probably should have lost that one.
Yep.
But their players are so good that they don't. And that is the worst thing in the world when you're like an up-and-coming team, where you get yourselves into really good situations and then still lose. And it's like, well, we didn't actually do anything wrong. They just got 3 headshots in the space of 2 seconds. And it's like, there's things that you can't play against. Either way, 50 seconds left on this clock. There's going to be a rotation back towards B. Look at this push coming through from Stewie. He might actually get caught out. I think the timing's going to go the other way. He still gets the kill, and that will give the information over to his teammates. I think they will have spotted the bomb, so already you can see 2 players starting their way back, and Twist is on the other side of the smoke. 2 kills for him. Naf actually gets the assist on that. I think that was off the Molotov that he threw. And now Dapper, 1 versus 3, almost gets Naf, but won't win that duel. A couple of doubles give Liquid their first round onto the board.
And you look at the scoreboard and you're like, okay, Singularity won 3 rounds. They're going to be able to easily buy into this. Well, not too easily. I think only 1 player on about 5K, the rest 3,300 or below. And yeah, you can see an SG, the AK, the 2 Deagles, and the P250, which is kind of still odd for me to see, obviously with the economy changes coming through, to be up 3-0. And you have a struggle into the first round that you actually lose. But that's the damage that Liquid had done in the prior rounds, as you've pointed out, Tom.
Well, that's the thing. If they had kept the round where they were just up against a single Deeg clean, then they would still have a buy here. Like, the players who survived do actually have a purchase, so there is clear evidence that Liquid have done a lot of damage over the last few rounds, although Nitro's ADR may beg to differ, but I imagine that's going to change drastically by the end of the match.
Just had to call him out. That's a Jason level play.
Hey, you got to call him out while it's low, so that then when it gets up to a ridiculous level, you can be like, and he was at 7. Oh, this boost. Is it going to be expected? Well, it might be now. The jump down onto the bench, making a bit of sound. I'd be interested to see whether or not they're going to be sending in the rifles first. Nope. The pistols. Well, cannon fodder. That's all that Relics turns out to be, but she managed to retrieve an AWP, at least for a moment. It's gone within a second. And Elige with the triple leaves just 1. And Naf is there again to close out the round. Liquid get their second, and now money really is an issue for the T side. They're going to have to take an eco.
The smile's coming out as well. That was a great spray down by Elige too. Just this spray as looks like he's just tapping A and D at the same time, or obviously alternating between the two to still keep it hard to hit for his opponents. Now the P250s and the Deagle coming in for Singularity. Yeah, I don't know. This is going to be tough times because now Liquid is starting to step up. Obviously losing the first 3 rounds, but doing some decent damage either way. Nitro able to have the op yet again here in this, and confidence, I think, is something Liquid is not going to be short of at all. And I think if you're Singularity trying to play against us on the T side, you have to basically expect them to be at every position around the map. Because we know Liquid can easily push with that confidence and take battles.
Well, that was something we noticed quite a bit about Vertigo, is that I don't think they necessarily played their greatest game of Vertigo. They just played their most aggressive. Like, they took away so much map control that it was really tough for ATK to actually play against. And this map definitely works with that as well. Like, there's so many positions you can push, as Twist is showing right now. Aggression towards. Also go for the jump spot. It's the headshot through the fence and leaves just Dapper left alone. He's gonna get killed through the wall. Oh, that's Phil. 3-3. Scoreline equalized. Only one man dropped. Now, moving forward, we should get the T side with a purchase.
It's like how 2 out of his 3 kills were just completely through a wall into a head. Well, we're not hearing any woos come out of Singularity. Not this time. I would like to see them, you know, be able to take a couple more rounds. I would like to see them be able to, like, show that they can bounce back from, you know, a big losing streak. I mean, it's obviously only 3 rounds at the moment. You're playing against a top 2 team in the world. Dapper's been able to sneak up towards short and look for an initial pick, though Twist is playing close to Monster, so probably gonna have an easy opportunity to go for that. Nice little boost gonna come in for Stewie, who might spot out Dazzle if he opens that door. But you can see, I mean, Singularity, they're leaving Wrath so far back to watch for any sort of aggression of Liquid. I think that goes into what I was kind of mentioning earlier, is that you have to kind of expect them to push anywhere at any given point.
T-side execution here is going to be fairly difficult. Only one Molotov, which you might expect to see go into the barrels, because it's such an important position to clear. Instead, they actually run out in without too much utility. They do still manage to get an open, and now going to be sneaking around the edge of the smoke, but he only gets one. Even still, Twist is still here, and he just is missing at the moment. Finally, he is closed out and leaves it only onto Nitro. Hasn't had to do too much so far. Has an AWP in the retake. There is a kit available to him, but he's not going to be able to spot either player just crossing out of the site. Singularity just playing patient and without spotting anybody. Might just even have to try and save the AWP, hoping he's given an angle, but they're not here. They're just waiting, expecting him to have to get aggressive, and eventually that's exactly what he'll do. Pushes onto the site, tries to section out the duel, but they peek together. And Wrath is going to net another kill and give them back the lead.
I don't know why, I'm just not noticing this, but he's playing with his, like, monitor angled. It's not, like, directly in front of him. It's, like, kind of, like, tilted towards him. That's really interesting, considering if you look at everyone else on the team. I guess he likes to play with his arm, like, really far forward.
I guess he has to sit on the end. It'd
well,
be a bit awkward otherwise.
Yeah. But, I mean, Wrath, 5 kills. Some big kills coming through when they needed them to help secure another round. Now Liquid obviously able to force back into this, though Elige only has the deagle. Then again, sometimes that's all he really needs. And that's dirty. That's painful. That's gotta frustrate Relics.
Well, Wrath is gonna have the spot that they're still aggressive. However, he didn't know that NAF was just around the corner. The aggression of this side has been spotted, though. They know there's 3 players here, so there can only be 2 on the B side. So they're going to try and capitalize off of this. Instead of pushing through the Twist. It's that battle. Dazzle actually going to get both players with the MAC-10. He's given them a chance here. Even manages to upgrade, but yeah, the bomb is so far back. That is a bit peculiar that they've taken the B side without it. I guess they were hoping that Wrath would wrap back in. Instead, Dazzle's now in a bit of a weird spot. Because, okay, saving the M4 would be nice. There's a lot of time, but not really enough. Okay, at least just holding the angle. Not going to miss from there. And it will be 4-4.
I think that's what happens when they pushed out through long. I think it was Naf that got a big kill. Nitro as well. I think that one was the shot that downed the bomb, but I think they were hoping for Singularity that those two players would just stop any aggressive pushes and then rotate back towards B as the players did push in. But they lost out on them. They died, they lost the bomb, and even though they got the kills on towards the B site, what are you going to do if you don't have the ability to plant and force the CTs to try to go for the defuse? Now back on basically the eco, just a couple of pistols and some body armor for Dazzle. Zapper. Liquid again, just... Even our observers can't keep up with how quickly they're just getting kills around the map. They're just fighting on all fronts. And generally they're winning them.
A rifle at least picked up. So they have something to play with in this round. They do seem to have ideas of how to try and gain an angle onto some of their opponents. However, after the initial aggression, the fallback makes things fairly difficult. Naf is in such a weird position. I'm surprised they expect him at all, but they do isolate him. If they can get rid of Nitro, well, they're not in too bad a spot. In fact, they're actually going to be able to get the bomb down. However, Twist clearing one should make this impossible for Dazzle, and Nitro will hit the shot with the USP. So 5-4. Even still, for the T side, that's not a bad round. They get 2 kills, they get a bomb plant, they make some money ready for the next round, and they should be able to come back in with a much better purchase into this one. And all in all, the start coming up from Singularity is not that bad of one. They've already got 4 rounds, which...
I mean, I agree, but then I'm also thinking about their match versus ATK, where ATK had like an initial good start as well,
yeah.
And then it just slipped away from them. But I definitely agree. If we compare like Singularity to ATK from yesterday, Singularity have looked stronger.
I think they're doing more damage as well.
Yeah.
Which, like, at this, like, when the streak began, Liquid started really rolling in the cash, and at this point, we haven't actually seen much of a build-up yet. Now, of course, that can still change. But I'm feeling a little more confident in what we've seen from Singularity. That's nice. A triple nade. A good way to start off the round. Completely clears out Naf. Well, now, we did actually see similar things coming out from E United. That was something that they quite like to do. However, the refrag still coming in. Leaves things into a 4 versus 4. They're now going to rotate away from the B site. They've pulled in some rotations already, leaving just Nitro on his own. However, it's still going to take them a while to clear all the angles necessary to get them onto the A site.
See, that's one of like the frustrating things I think for Singularity. If we look at like them and maybe compare them to like some Renegades, they get the man advantage, but then Dapper dies and there's no refrag to keep the man advantage. They just lose a player for basically absolutely nothing. And now they're forced to fight 4v4 yet again against, you know, a top 2 team in the world. Nitro's getting the first kill onto Wrath as they try to push in towards A. Still 3 players alive. They have the smokes down. That was a lot of damage done out of Liege onto Seb. Bomb should be placed in just a few seconds, but Nitro's eventually get the kill on the Relics, and now it's going to be a 4-on-2. Not the most ideal position to be from for the T side to defend.
Utility expended just to allow them to defuse all of them, although they peeked to try and fight it, the bomb was defused and they were both dead within the next few seconds. Solid retake and 4 players surviving for the CT side means that the money starts to build now for Liquid. At least a little bit of extra cash should be there. But not enough to get a buy.
I like how Stewie hasn't yelled back at them like yesterday against ATK when they were screaming earlier on with the first 3 rounds. Okay, Naf, I think he just fell. No, wait, did he just get hit? Or did he fall? I think he fell for some
I think
damage.
he jumped down the stairs.
Yeah.
Here we go, though. Fast play into the B site. An attempted rush, a double nade thrown out by the CTs to try and stop Monster. But it's actually short the direction they're going. Oh, the bomb's been dropped in a poor position. This is just going to be a cleanup. Elige.
Oh, there
Will
it
we
is.
glaze it down?
I love the smoke twist put down, by the way, towards the left side of site. Because then it forces the other team to what? Push the smoke, which is going to be disadvantageous for them. Or they have to fight on the right side, which makes it so the Liquid players only have 1 line of sight to hold. I really like that. They're forcing the T's, you know, they're rushing through to like fight on Liquid's terms. And able to just mow them down. 13, 3, and 7 for a Liege. Good number. But 7-4 will be the scoreline for Liquid. 3 players over towards the A site, 2 to defend. The bomb is going to be sitting still back towards T-spawn. And Dapper is looking for the initial exchange. Again, this is kind of what worries me, is that if Dapper dies, there's no refrag. If Seb dies, there's no refrag. So they're hoping for these individual duels up against Liquid.
Yeah, it's still fairly standard, though. Like, you normally have players lurking around different angles of the map. I think in this situation, they're more trying to stop the aggression of some of the CTs. And, well, Seb's actually going to be able to win his duel. Liquid do at least still have information as to where the T players currently sit. And off the back of that early pick, it does look like they're going to start rotating the bomb onto B. With still only 2 defenders, although still, these 2 players can do enough. Stewie with the wide peek is going to spot the majority. I wonder if he actually saw the bomb as well. That could be enough to get the information for his team. He's up in the corner. They only managed 1 though, and in fact, there's trades back thick and fast from the T side. The nade almost dunks out Relics, however. And still the AWP of Nitra set them up in a great position. He's going to find another and leaves it all into the 1 versus 1. And Liege just quick on the trade, not allowing him a moment's thought as to where the final man is.
They had a smoke, but they didn't put it down either. Could have helped transition them to get on towards the site. Obviously disable the Heaven player. I mean, there's pieces for the Singularity team. Like, you cannot deny that. There are some players who are able to win the initial exchanges. But, again, you're playing against the #2 team in the world. You can't really make any mistakes against this. But I think we're in agreement that Singularity are looking a little bit more solid than ATK from yesterday. And I think that's one of the highlight matches we're looking at for tomorrow. Both matches going to be really exciting because one determines who goes straight to the finals, one determines who stays out of relegation. And right now he's fighting for a chance to avoid that part, as they're able to trade 2 for 2 on the site.
Yeah, this is now a really tough spot to try and get out of, however. Relic's going to be rounding into a Liege who, just wrecks both of them. Yeah, anytime someone walks into a Liege's crosshair, they die. That's pretty much how this game works at the moment, especially when he gets an SG on the CT side. I don't think you really stand much of a chance. We sort of had the video of talking about who shouldn't be using the AWP on their side, and I think Adren's answer was a Liege, but mainly because he should have a rifle.
That's kind of funny. It's not about him being bad on the op, it's about him being that good on a rifle.
The rest of the team did also say that he probably is the worst AWPer, but at the same time, when you look at their team, I think... I don't know about Twist, but I know for sure that Naf and Stewie have both AWPed on other teams before, so it's not really saying too much.
Well, they're grouping up in towards Connector to actually push towards this A site. Again, only pistols. And Seb, in the meantime, just going to be playing the lurk role, but, well, he won't be alive much longer. As Nitra's going to back off. Elige's going to be here helping to watch restrooms. No one coming from that long spot, and Elige will be blinded up. He gets a nice shot onto Dapper. Now Dazzle able to respond. They're going to need more kills than this, though, to take this site. But there's so many players on Liquid still here. But Dazzle, again, that's going to be his second. He will eventually fall. And Relics will die as well. And Liquid going to put themselves at double digits with 10-4.
Yeah, I am starting to now get flashbacks to what we saw in the match yesterday, where there's a few backwards and forwards rounds at the beginning, and then the stride comes in from Liquid. And even though some of the rounds are a little bit closer, or you feel like there's moments that it could work out for Singularity, ultimately still every single round is going the way of Liquid.
Where's the pauses out of Singularity, actually?
The thing is, I'm not sure the man standing behind them is actually their coach.
Well, not even necessarily for the coaching role, but just to talk some things over within the team. Like, okay, what can we do a little different? Maybe freeze out Liquid a little bit of time. Because, again, they're able to, like, get some of these kills. They're just not able to close out these rounds.
That's true. I guess, like, you've also got time in between rounds if you're calling strategies. And there's the other thing as well is when you're playing against Liquid, I don't know how much of a team talk is really going to change anything. I guess it could, like, Obviously, it's still good to try and pause against momentum, but I think if you're in the mind of Singularity right now, you're thinking, I don't think this is momentum. I think they're just better. Which, you know what, that's fair enough. Like, I agree they should go for a pause, but I don't think it will make a difference. 5v3, 2 picks coming off the back of the AWPs. Still a couple of low players here. There may be a chance in this round for Singularity. The problem is, once again, there's a mass setup on this B site already waiting for this push to come in. Seb does win his duel, but he takes a lot of damage for it. Bomb is going to be planted, and Stewie, not content with waiting, he's actually going to go down. They've turned this into their favor. Another peek out from Relics as well, who put his ex-teammate down and leaves Naf with 12 HP. There should be no way he's able to win this round. Of course he's going to go for it. It's the last round of the half. But as long as the T side aren't silly about it, I don't really see a way that they can lose. Close to the wallbang for Naf. Dapper eventually going to close it. 10-5. At least still some possibilities going into the CT side for Singularity. A pistol win could definitely give them some hope. The only real worry is if you consider the fact that I think they did win the pistol.
They won first 3 rounds, yeah.
Then, yeah, obviously it's only the last round of the half, which I will say a lot of that was due to a little bit of over-aggression, considering that was, what, a 5 versus 3? And then one other round, it does leave things a little bit worrying. But as said, maybe we can see a little bit more from them on the CT side. We will find out after a short break.
No pulse and all alone. Time's not kind and it won't let go. No thoughts left in my head. My mind's not mine and it won't forget. But you bring me back from my darkness black as the soul in me and the heart I had for you. It bleeds for you, it beats again. Oh, you bring me to life. 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 Bring me to Oh, you bring me to life. Now you bring me back to life. Bring me to life. No. I stopped on my side, tried to run on a faulty line. I'm safe only, even though we burn from the light I bleed. But she bring me back, not a heart attack could take away all the love I had for you. It bleeds for you, it beats again. Oh, you bring me to life. 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 Oh, you bring me to life.
ladies and gentlemen, the first half is done and dusted, and Elige on 19-8 is going to be the frag leader of the half. Jace Capitombas, how you doing, buddy? We're actually past the halfway point of the entire first group stage here in North America.
That is true. We are in the third group, so I guess that kind of makes sense. I like it. There's too much food here. I'm getting fatter, which is actually quite impressive. But there we go. T-side, they have the bomb site. Look at this wraparound. This is like the ultra flank coming in from Singularity. Still only going to trade, I was going to say 1 for 1, but they've now lost 2. Making their way forward. They have Heaven control as well for the T-side. This is going to be tough. Stewie does go down, so does Elige. They're making it look good in this pistol round, but they're still Naf and Twist, and they're just trying to defuse the bomb, or it seems like it at least, just tapping it to try and bait them in, and it has succeeded, leaving Naf on his own. He's still going to be able to get one, but there should be the defusal coming in. Not the man with the kit, but it does not matter. So it is going to be a second pistol round going the way of Singularity.
Easy as cake. Yeah, maybe Liquid showing some weakness when it comes to pistol rounds. I mean, that's the second pistol round in a row they lost.
It is interesting when you look at like pistol round stats, is that like even some of the best teams, it's like 57% is like good. Like there's a lot of like randomness when it comes to pistol rounds. Like you can't really base too much of it, especially when you have to consider that was a 10-5 half and they lost the last pistol round. So by that regard, we should finish this game 16-10. But we'll see. Maybe there'll be a little bit more life out of Singularity. Well, this is one hell of an aggressive push, but there's 3 SGs on the other side. That's going to be such a dirty purchase coming in from Liquid. Bomb's going to be dropped for a moment. And it's going to get dropped again. Actually, Dapper with 2 kills. That could be the game changer, as 2 of those SGs have now hit the deck. Nitro even going to go down. It's left all onto Twist. 1 versus 4. Couple of players low. Actually gets Wrath through the door. Seb has an SMG, however, but even still, he gets that kill. It shouldn't be possible, but even still, he's making things very costly. And the bomb being down, of course, in the playground is going to make things very difficult for him. Dapper also low on HP, but this time not going to be expected. So there will be a 7th round for Singularity. They should be able to make their conversion.
Well, it's like the first 3 rounds on the first half. Can they do it yet again here? And Dapper again, like I've been saying, like there are some like really great individual plays out of Singularity. We saw Dazzle yesterday, Dapper on the Scout on Mirage yesterday was quite a thing to see. In a few rounds, Wrath, Seb, everyone really having their moments. But it's still Team Liquid, you still can't underestimate them. That's easy damage done to Elige, he's trying to cross over towards middle. Nitro taking a chunk as well, and still feel like Singularity have to be careful here, even though they're only up against the Pistols. We've seen what Liquid can do yesterday with them.
Yeah, it's a weird balance in these sort of rounds, because obviously things like that can happen, but if you start playing too scared, then you can give them too much space to give them a bomb plant. So you still want to get up in the face of Liquid, but try not to get yours shot off, which a tough balance. I can't say I'm an expert on how that works, and Stewie's so close, but it is going to be Relics able to keep things relatively clean for his team.
Okay, well, they're going to do a monster push this round.
That's interesting. CT side monster push, that is a risky play to take. We did see Stewie do it in the previous.
See, it still is one of those things that I feel like if you're the team that's such a drastic underdog, do you try to make these big plays happen that you normally wouldn't against a team that you think's more around your level? And I feel like you've seen a little bit of both, where it's kind of worked out for some teams and it's kind of worked out against them, unfortunately. And that monster push, well, doesn't seem to be coming through. The smoke is down. Naf would be waiting to receive it as well. But they're going to go for it. They're not going to be spotted for a bit of time.
Oh, I like the smoke. Yeah, this gives them so much control. This is actually quite nice coming out from Singularity. Like, they don't really take that much of a risk because NAF is so far back. Now, obviously, if there was someone a little bit closer, it's a different scenario, but that smoke just gives them so much positioning. And they've actually given up a lot of that control. Dazzle, that is a spray and a half with the MP9. 2 Liquid players dead. Again, there's going to be another smoke in their way. Of course, this is leaving the utility now for Singularity fairly minimal. They do have an incendiary and a couple of flashbangs, but there's not going to be any smokes denying presence. It's looking like the execution onto this B site is about to begin, but the same can be said for Liquid. They don't have any Molotovs, so none of these positions are going to be cleared other than by just hard aim and hitting their shots, and the positions coming out from Singularity are good. They've managed to not only get a first, but a second as well for Raph. Eventually, NAF will put him down, but there will be nothing more. Singularity get their 9th round onto the board, and well, into the next. We can't really expect too much investment to come out from the T side, so there's a decent chance they're going to level things up.
Well, Singularity.
Don't call me baby.
You didn't say that last night. In fact, you were insisting I call you that.
Things that never happened, for one.
Well, the pistols and the armor and the utility bot for Liquid. Could be the chance that Singularity could tie things up. You saw them trying to go for a little bit of an aggressive play towards middle. But being flashed out, they're just going to back away for now and give up some ground. Gonna nade the door out. Seb might have a shot here in a few seconds. I think he just spots out the arm of Twist, who's gonna just smoke it off. And the CT side, I mean, they've been very mobile. Like we compare them to kind of Liquid, where Liquid act more like sentries. They would just hold a position, hold an angle. And Singularity are feeling very free to rotate, especially quite early on in the rounds, which I think is fair. I think Dazzle, he's gonna have to hit this shot. It's gonna be all on Relics with an op after if he does fall. No one really close enough to rotate in. Liquid get explosive, and that's gonna be a great incendiary to force them back. Does some damage to Nitro.
This will be where the pressure begins, though. Smoke execution coming in from Team Liquid. Relics with the AWP. Dazzle in the corner. They haven't actually checked for him, but Elige does manage to get that kill. Bomb looking like it's going to be planted, and there won't be a denial there at least. Some extra money made for Liquid. The question is, can they hold on straight through the smoke? Okay, Relics. That's not a bad shot. But still, though, Elige can do things through the wall as well. NAF with the rifle can still make things that little bit more costly, but we are going to get ourselves to 10. Singularity evening things up once more. However, this is where the purchase comes. This is where the money has been built for Team Liquid. This is where they can have those full executions. Oh, wow. This is where the pressure is brought onto Singularity.
I wonder if Liquid's having flashbacks to their match versus Optic in Malmo. Again, a match that I think 90% of the people out there thought they would never lose. They did show they were vulnerable. They weren't immortal. Look how aggressive they're getting towards short. The smoke that was thrown in is not going to matter for them. They're going to continue. Oh my gosh, Stewie, the nades coming through have taken him down to 42 health. You can see them trying to play close to the smoke at Monster. And just leaving Nitro to himself to defend on any sort of push from middle. And they're actually just going to back away from this. So they forced out a lot of utility early on. And it looks like they're going to continue to go this route. So they're just going to completely give up on the B site.
This round, a bit more utility's been baited out of Singularity early on. Seb's still going to win the duel on the lurk of NAF. That's nothing really to do with the main push. Still an aggressive angle being held. Now, this orb has to change its position on relics, which you can see, he's flicking between the two spots. Dazzle's going to be left alone. Now, this is a one-and-done spot without the AWPP peeks in. Still a trade, but that's fantastic. A nice setup from the CT side and leaves Dapper to hold the line, leaving Twist alone with 18 seconds. Which would have to be one of the fastest set of headshots I think I've ever seen, and it's not going to be happening. Singularity, they've now taken the lead on Overpass. We've seen problems on this map recently. Even their coach saying that they have maybe a few teething issues, some comfort problems.
I think we're having a timeout come in, actually. I think we've heard their coach saying, just calm down, guys. Calm down. We're not done just yet. Liquid actually going to be the ones to do so. And, you know, we were talking at the start of the match, you know, what would Adren really have to say in this? And it looks like they realize there's something that needs to be done. They can't really afford to drop this map. They're not looking forward to it. I think they're running up to a much better opposition than maybe they expected. You can see right there, #1 to the ESL rankings compared to 99, which technically it's above 99. Doesn't
I think it's like, well, no, I think it's like, doesn't the ESL ranking go up to like 40 or something?
Yeah.
So it's like there's about 100 teams that are ranked 99, but it's just anybody who's not within the rankings.
Even our team's ranked 99.
Yeah.
If we had one.
Kaplan's crew.
More like Kaplan's curse, let's be honest.
Busy team.
Well, here we go. Liquid back on the buy. Singularity with momentum on their side, looking to maintain it into round 22. Got a lot of early utility being thrown in. And they've done some decent damage to Elysian Stewie. They get a little bit cocky. They're trying to go for the peak as Elysian is going to drop Dapper, giving them the man advantage. For the first time in a while, I feel like I haven't been able to say that for Liquid in the last 5 rounds. Are we going to go for it again? Well, it works out this time. In the meantime, Wrath is falling, and Stewie's just going to wrap around short and take down Seb. He can down to himself on the site, and he will fall. Now Relic's 1-on-4. They'd have to hit some amazing shots to pull this one off.
He should be saving. I get that he wants to take away a gun, so maybe if he gets 1 kill. But if you just look at the money for the rest of his teammates, sure, some of them can buy quite comfortably, but he could easily drop over a weapon here.
Yeah.
In fact, he could even drop over a couple if they really needed it. So I think it's important that he doesn't get too overzealous in this scenario. Sure, they've built up some confidence. They've started to win some decent rounds versus Liquid, but you don't just want to get silly. Like a 1 versus 4 versus one of the best teams in the world is not going to be happening today. So 11-11. Liquid do break back a little bit quieter on their side of things, of course. For Singularity, being in this match is something to be happy about. For Liquid, the fact that they're in this match is not something to be happy about. We even saw it in the game that we watched earlier, where JKS wins a 1v4 clutch and then sort of looks over as his team like, why was I in a 1v4 clutch?
Yeah, that's
like,
a good point.
It's one of those scenarios where, sure, like, for the younger players, these are some hype moments, and for Liquid, they're going, we should be winning this.
Necessarily Molotov actually to deny any early push. Oh, Dapper. I don't think he was spotted there by Stewie. But they're just going to keep doing what's seeming to work so far. Wrath going to be Molotov'd out. Stewie's just waiting for him as well. The smoke's going to come through. Wrath's going to stick it out. He's down to 37 HP from the nade that did get thrown in his direction. So the early damage battle has been won by Liquid. Will they continue to push towards this B side? 1 minute and 10 left to go. No hurry for the Liquid boys. And they've actually stacked 3 players towards this B site, kind of having an inkling, an idea of what's happening. Elish gonna spot out the first one, leading the charge. He gets the spray down. I don't know how the hell he transfers onto Wrath like that, but that's the first kill going through for Liquid.
Twists around the corner and combining, they just dominate the B site. The remaining 2 players from Singularity have no choice but to fade away. And well, once again, after a streak of rounds, it seems like Liquid have stepped up their game. All found a hole in the defense. Like, They didn't really have to do anything too complicated, just started clearing some of the positions. Maybe they realized a few spots that they commonly play. Well, because their money's not in the best of states themselves, they're not going to be over-hunting in this scenario. I think maybe from this round onwards, you might see a few more aggressive pushes coming out. Elige is on 2 HP and takes 1 HP from the bomb. Calculated. That is the 200 IQ play.
I think there's a little bit of seriousness in the eyes of Liquid now, realizing that this map almost did slip away from them. It still technically could, 12 to 11. Luckily, they do have Singularity on basically the save with just the pistols and the 2 weapons they saved for the prior round. But I feel like now they've woken up. Now they're like, all right, let's just get the job done. Let's close this out. They've been able to win 2 rounds back-to-back with 4 players. I think was that one 3? Or was just Elige that low in HP? I know he survived with 1 health.
Yeah, there was 4 players alive.
So that's back-to-back rounds. So they've been able to build up some money. And really, I think, take some wind out of the sails of Singularity.
I think it was only Twist who died in that round on the entry. Flashbang over the top, Dapper. He's been good so far. He's got his trusty deagle in hand, hiding behind the tree. Nice shot onto Stewie, but it is only going to be a trade. Nonetheless, when one of your pistol players gets an opening pick, and you've still got an AWP and a rifle available to you, it does give you slightly better odds. I don't think they spotted Dazzle either. This could be perfect. He's going to hear Elige running. There's the first kill. Nitro now realizes the problem is, as he goes back in that direction, I wonder if Twist is going to go back once again. He won't need to. Nitro gets the kill, and now Naf starts to sneak his way forward, but I believe the bomb is, sorry, the AWP is homed in on his position. The bomb now rotating back towards A. Wrath in a bit of an off angle. I don't think they're going to expect him here. Surely not. That'll be 1! Almost the second as well. He's given a good chance to his teammates as Twist survives on just 25 HP, and Relics peeks out to put him down. 12 to 12. A big round for Singularity to win. And while some damage done, back onto the economy of the T's.
They only had 2 rifles, Tom,
Yep.
which they saved from the last round. Pulling it out with the pistols. Well done by Singularity there. The pressure's starting to get towards Liquid. Obviously going to have the money to buy up yet again in this round, but still 12 to 12. I mean, just to be blunt, I didn't expect the scoreline to even become like this. I don't think maybe even necessarily Singularity thought they'd be able to be in the lead against Liquid. Good nade coming through, does some decent damage yet again, but this time they're just going to rush straight in towards the site 7. Maybe looking down towards Monster, gets flanked in from behind. Nice flashbang comes through and prevents really Singularity from doing too much damage. So even watching the rotate in from Connector is going to be able to take down one more. The site's going to be in the hands of Liquid, or will it be? Because Wrath is still put on the edge of smoke. He gets himself a quick double. And now it's left all on Stewie in a 1-on-3.
It's hard, Wrath. That's the only healthy player, but he can't quite kill off Relics. It's another round onto the board, and that was a very good B-side hold considering the scenario with them losing a couple of players very early into that round. They managed to have Wrath just lurking within the smoke, and well, they're now back into the lead, and more importantly, money starting to look a little bit diminished from the T side. Sure, they have a buy into this round, but utility's already limited into the next. Well, they'll need at least a bomb plant to get them close to a buy. The only problem is neither side has really managed to take an economic lead. Singularity aren't sat there with cash in their pockets, other than Dazzle. It's around 1,000 or less.
3 players on the side of Singularity do have 20 kills or more as well.
I think it's the same for both sides.
Well, Elige has 27, which he's picking up quite a few here. But again, it's nice to see Singularity be able to fire on all cylinders. And speaking of that, Relic's going to get his 21st onto Nitro. Going to spot out the second player, and he hits the tag on a Naf. What a shot out of him. And Molotov being thrown into force next to. He's going to be able to flank around behind them, though. This is going to be a major problem if they're not able to get these kills towards restrooms quicker. unless Dapper's able to spot this out. And Relics, well, speaking of getting the kills towards Restroom, he's been able to do so, and Singularity going to be on 14 rounds now. You know?
Just hold hands.
Who needs
at
a
this
fist
point.
bump? Who needs a high five? Let's just hold hands.
That's cute.
I think that should be one of our plays today.
Well, Liquid are getting pushed the distance. As said, there's no point when I'll count them out of this match, but with Pistols and Singularity looking to get their 15th onto the board, who knows where this could go. As said, this has been a weak point for Liquid. As of recent times, they've struggled on Overpass. Of course, that does mean going into the next two maps, I have my doubts about how Singularity will do, but I think they'll be content with even taking a map in this scenario. Maybe with the wind in their sails, we could see a little bit more, but it's going to be the execution. Dapper left blind, but Seb is there to start things off. Two trade come back in, though, and Nitro has found a third to keep things even. Rotations quick from Relics with the AWP. Trying to hit the wall bang. He is going to connect the shot, but it's really not doing too much. That wood is thicker than it looks. Luckily, Nitro peeks into their crosshair and leaves Naf on his own. 1 versus 2. Flashbang is absolutely perfect. Around the corner goes Relics. Let the celebrations begin. It's 15 rounds now for Singularity. Of course, that was just Pistols, but I like that attitude from Relics. Maybe not the fist bumps, but the attitude's good. Looking to close this out. Well, the other side of the board is very different.
I mean, Singularity, you can see on their faces, they're having a good time. Up 15 to 12. One more round to close this out. In a match that, again, most people never would have expected them to be able to take, but this would only be the first map. But I think the momentum they'd be able to carry over into the next map would be fantastic for them. I think it's something they would need to have a chance on a map like Dust 2, where we saw Liquid already decimate their opponents yesterday, ATK, at a 16-3 scoreline. But hell, Singularity are showing they've come here to play. Showing that they deserve to have this EPL spot, and now the question is, can they close this map out? Can they take round number 16 up against Liquid?
It's not over till it's over. Well, once again, we're going to see some aggression coming out from the T side towards Water. A little love tap onto Seb. Does manage to get around the corner. But the boost again, this has been so successful for them. Facing into Team Liquid. Naf looking to try and sneak his way past the smoke. The flashbang comes out there. They're still aware that someone could be past the threshold. Walking in though, Naf, he executes one, but the second won't come. Wrath able to trade things back, and is Twist really planning on pushing through that smoke? Flashbang over the top, and this is as easy as you like. It's left all onto Nitro. 1 versus 3, turn 2. Dazzle is, however, low. If he can get that kill, there's a chance, but Relics from above is there to close it. Singularity are going to start this off with a W. They take themselves Overpass with an impressive CT sign. Bear in mind, what, there was a 10-5 half. From then on, they managed